Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Maddie Vlogs and Does. This is a client reading, and if you guys have been watching, I am going to apologize for the delay of these readings, the delay of these videos. I'm sure by now you guys have looked at my intro video, but if you would like to be part of the journey of Maddie Vlogs and Does, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the bell to get notifications when I upload videos if you want to continue to watch my content. Today is a my path reading, and I'm going to try to put the names of the decks. I know this one is the Creative Whack Pack because of the name. It's in the back, and also this one is this is one of the cats cards that I'm using, but I like these for my path readings. This like really does attract me from when it has to do with like career or whatever it is that you want to do moving on forward that has nothing to do with like emotional but more practical of a reading. This would be the reading that you get. However, I'm gonna move along to the client's reading. So I hope that you're doing fantastically well wherever you are, and when you guys are getting a reading from me, when you're watching this video, try to inhale, exhale, so that you can intake all the messages that are coming through. You had a particular question in regards to the house, and when I was trying to pull the deck of cards for you, I told myself I have to read for her, but at the same time I want the house to talk to her. You know what the house means. For those of you that don't know and are looking at my client readings, these are totally and completely private. But I want to get a message from the house. As alchemists, witches, woke people, whatever it is that you want to call us, I feel like once we put an energy to places and or things that might be haunted or have a spirit of their own or have some sort of incubus residing in it, it now feels, in a sense, even if it's in this physical realm, but seeing from the spiritual world. So hopefully that makes sense, especially for the person this reading is for. So I would like to give a message from the house that you're currently residing, and I want to see what the message has to what the house has to say to you. So it has the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is not just hurt, pain, but I feel like it's more of a disappointment to see what the previous owners of the house, despite of who your landlord is at the moment, have done to the house. I also feel like there are spirits trapped in the closets, like within the walls of the closet. So if you were to break your closets down, the spaces in between the closet and whatever is built behind it is totally haunted. They're saying there's a whole bunch of spirits. Not all of them are bad, not all of them are good. Some of them are balanced, some of them are not. But it is a lot of pain because they have a lot of story to tell. The people that owned the house previously knew about the infestation of entities, but I feel because you're such an alchemist and you feel and you know everything that has to do with the crone energy of knowing the spiritual realm, this is something that you already know. Besides the fairy, besides the gnomes, inside the walls of your house, there's actual human entities or spirits attached there. So I feel the spirit of death. I feel that the previous owners, and this is something that the house wants you to know so that you don't feel uncomfortable if you ever decide to purchase the house or own it. Once the house passes along from one landlord to the next, and or yourself. So the spirit of death is what I get from this card, and what it's telling me is they weren't slaves per se, but they were people that used to work in the house. They were people that managed the house somewhere whenever it was built. Maybe it could have been the construction workers, but people that worked for the house have been enslaved by the previous owners of the house. And it goes back to like 3 generations or 3 titles of people that have worked in that house, have had that house with incubuses and known about it. But I feel like because, again, you're the spiritual person that you are, do not fret. Don't be afraid of owning the house, because I feel like this house picked you. It's like a cat or a dog. The animals, your fur babies, most of the time, whether or even a horse, I'm seeing, has picked you to be its owner already. Like, it doesn't even matter. And I feel like the house, whatever documents you have on the house, they'll follow you throughout different lives. Whether it's this life, whether it's the next life, they'll follow you because the house belongs to you. I feel like the house is kind of like, what it's showing me is, it's like the Mary Poppins bag, and the house is the bag that Mary Poppins is always carrying around that has all of your essentials. And that's what the house would like for you to see it as. Not as a burden, not as something that is haunted, not as a material thing, but a friend that you can literally speak your existence into. And that's totally fine. Now, you also had a question. Oh, let me pick out an oracle card in regards to the house itself. But I feel like you also had a question regarding what should we do if the house gets sold, and if the landlord that I'm currently renting from no longer lives in the house or no longer owns the house. However, I'm going to answer that in just a minute, but this is the message that the house has for you. Find the pattern. Much of what is called intelligence is our ability to recognize patterns. We recognize sequences, the order in which you put on your clothes, cycles, bird migrations, processes, how the covert flour, eggs, milk into waffles, tendencies. If I smile at the checkout counter girl, she'll smile at me. Shapes, the stars that make up the constellation Leo, the possibilities, the likelihood of throwing a 7 at a crack table. Now, what this I feel is telling me is that, again, no matter where you go, like some sort of a fool, the energy of the house will follow you. It will become the next smile that you have. It will become the next person that you will need help from in the next life. It will transmute itself with the power of transmutation to assist you and to help you. Just don't try to figure out the pattern of when and where this house or the entity living in the house in and of itself will show up. Okay? Don't try to do that. It'll show up whenever you need it, even if it's in the next life. Now, you had a question in regards to what to do if the landlord decides to sell the house, etc. You should just stay. With the cards that I'm being shown, you should just stay. And even though you have serious attachment issues with the house and the items in the house, and even the wood in the house, even the flooring of the wood in the house is something that you're attached to, it's telling us that, well, I feel like these cards and spirit, I'm trying to hear what they're trying to tell me. I feel like the house is just as attached to you as you are to it. But also move forward with signing the deed. If the opportunity presents itself, don't think about, you know, I'm too old, or I'm not going to be able to handle this. No. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. This Four of Pentacles is staying grounded and speak your truth when it comes to the titles and the deeds of the home. Now, whoever the landlord is might have some sort of opposition within his or her own family. Meaning there's some people that are going to want to inherit the home. But if they try to kick you out of the home, move forward with using your power to try to stay in the house. And then your oracle card is see the positive. The human mind notes scientist W.I. Beveridge like a strange idea as little as the body likes a strange protein resistant with a similar energy. When the judge's new idea focuses initially on their positive and interesting features, this will counteract the natural negative bias and enable you to develop more ideas. So, by you keeping this house, I feel like you will give resources to yourself in the next life, generations to come, etc. So even if it's a struggle to keep the house, even if you're like, oh my gosh, this is just too much land, this is just too much to do, stay positive and try to keep yourself within the pattern of, I'm going to keep the house, I'm going to keep the house, so that things can manifest for you. If you have an idea of turning the house into some sort of an asylum, whether that be to spiritual people and or human beings, go ahead and do so, which is telling me stay positive. And the contracts, go ahead and do so. Just take the leap of faith, because the house is yours no matter what. The house chose you. You didn't choose to live in the house chose you. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I will see you in the next video. Please do not forget to water your life, and I will see you guys again. Bye.